Recording.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Forget About It Sports Podcast. It's your boy Padmal, Padmal, and it's Johnny Five. What's going on, Johnny?
I'm weirded out that you spelled your whole name out. It's all 60. I thought it's P to the mall. I don't know. Well, anyway, but yeah, Pat Mall. It's nice to speak to you, sir.
It is, man. Yo, we're missing the deacon himself. I wonder if he's at church or if he's doing exorcism with some wings or what's going
No,
on.
he's definitely not in church. He's Muslim. But it is more than likely he's possibly at Church's Chicken,
Oh,
or he's getting
blessing
some
them wings,
wings,
dog.
or like he's arguing with somebody over some bean pies.
With some garlic wings, salt and pepper wings.
Yeah, that was probably he had the lemon pepper. He had the Rick Ross lemon pepper.
Hey, he might not show his face. I mean, the Redskins had a chance to beat the Giants. Y'all went for two, which is a good move. I didn't watch the game. I saw the box score. So now that might be it, man. That might be the chance that the Redskins had to go to win two games. 2-14 is now in play, right?
I'm all for that, honestly. I'm sure, like, I can speak fully.
You won't get the number one pick, though.
I don't. Yeah, I want the number one. I want a top 5 pick, and a top 5 pick will ensure. Like, let's just look at this year. Burrow, Herbert, and now Tua. I assume will all be good decent quarterbacks. Okay. Herbert doesn't seem bad. Like time will tell. Time will tell. But they've all, to me, in just the short time, have put up more flash or showed me more than Dwayne Haskins has. And you can say the team is bad or this or that, but special quarterbacks make plays. They make bad players look better, and they do special things. And I just haven't seen anything special from Dwayne Haskins. I mean, we can give him some more time. I think that's the best chance. We'll still probably go 2-14 or 3-13. Whether we have Kyle Allen or Dwayne Haskins, might as well put him in and not, horribly diminish his trade value. Maybe try to get a 3rd or 4th round pick out of him. But yeah. I think the best thing going forward, especially in this type of year, which just like in the NBA, it's a huge asterisk. All these bye weeks and the schedule is changing and the no fans and all these things going on. It's hard to really even put a whole lot of stock into this season.
But is there? Okay, I don't follow college football. Is there, you hope, other quarterbacks? Let's say the Redskins get the 2nd pick. So obviously Trevor Lawrence is going 1, and in my opinion, I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is as advertised. But let's say he goes number 1. Who's the 2nd best quarterback in college? And prospect, NFL prospect wise, and there must be one, right? So,
There's 3, just like there is this year.
Always 3.
And just like there is most year, just when there's the Mitch Trubisky's, but then there's same drafts as Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes. There's good quarterbacks, especially people pick them in the 1st round because that's the best chance you have of not having a bust. But as you can see with people like Russell Wilson and RIP Dak Prescott, that 3rd and 4th round, you can get good quarterbacks. But the likelihood of you getting a better quarterback in the 1st round is way more likely. We whiffed on Haskins. I think Daniel Jones was a better pick, and the Giants saw that. And of course, Kyler Murray is a better pick. So,
but Daniel Jones was in the same draft as Haskins.
Yeah. Last year it was Kyler Murray went 1st. Then the 2nd quarterback pick was I forget, they're 6th or 7th. I forget. But the Giants picked Daniel Jones, and then the next quarterback off the board was us, and we picked Haskins. and we just backed out.
Haskins was what pick?
I think
First
we
round.
were 11th or 12th or so. I mean, we were in the teens.
Okay, so you got but you're actually saying Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Haskins.
Oh, for sure.
Wow, because he's more athletic.
Yeah,
more
I think I'm more athletic, as you saw him run down our terrible ass defense. I hate that Alpha's, I feel like we're gonna have to recap this again if he gets back on. So we probably should have just skipped it. But he's a better quarterback. He's had a couple of games where he's thrown 4 touchdowns and 300 yards, and he has nothing to work with there either. He has some guy named Slayton, and he didn't have Odell Beckham. He has nobody to throw to, and he still is able to put up produce points.
Yeah,
I can get it for Joe Burrow. Joe
it's
Burrow
crazy, man. It's crazy that the dawn of the athletic right quarterback is now upon us. Like, look at all these athletic white QB. You got Daniel Jones, you got Herbert, you got the dude from the Bills, who we're talking about, Allen, and then you got Trevor Lawrence. You know what I mean? The white athletic quarterback is making a name for itself.
Yeah, it is, and I think it'll probably make his name for itself in basketball and other sports too.
Get out of here! You're gonna have a white athletic.
I think it will. Like, as much. Don't hate on Luka. Don't hate on Luka. Don't hate on Luka Legend.
No, but Luka's not okay. Number one, American-born Caucasian player is no one knows as good as Luka, and then number two, Luka's not super athletic. Who's like an athletic? Okay, number one, who's the best white NBA basketball player? Is it Tyler Hero? Like up and coming.
It's so crazy to even, like, he has to be up there, but it's so crazy that as a
up and coming. Who? Okay, tell me who besides him you are excited about, even if you're not excited about Tyler Hero.
I mean, if you want to say who's the most athletic, I'm gonna give it to Ball Jordan, Alex Caruso.
I mean, isn't that crazy? And you're laughing about that's crazy. There is no Daniel Jones, or there's no Allen or Herbert type player in the NBA.
You know what? I'll give you that. It's more than likely. I think it's definitely catching up with football. I mean, you can tell that 100%. I think as far as just on a normal person size,
it's different athleticism you need in the NBA. That's a total another level of athleticism.
You're right. The NBA is a whole nother level because these dudes are so tall.
Yeah, you got to be able to be 6'5", 6'6", to be able to jump out of the gym. Being an NFL QB, it's you got to be able to be quick and move on your feet.
We're the same size as Kyle Murray, and he's able to play. So, like, that is it. So there are certain white players, like, same thing. Christian McCaffrey is about the same size as Kyle Murray, just a little more.
There's no Christian McCaffrey in the NBA. Maybe Tyler Hero. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what. Like, I didn't think. I know this is now turned into we segued into white athletic, sports players. Like, it's interesting to see
the dying breed,
how good he could be. Now, people were comparing Tyler Hero to dude from Phoenix, Devin Booker, right? They were looking at stats from year one and their Kentucky career. Do you think Tyler Hero has a chance to be as good as Devin Booker?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Wow. Okay.
I really don't.
Devin Booker is he put 70 in a game.
He is nice. He is absolutely nice. I don't think Tyler Hero will ever put up 70 in a game.
But you're saying he has a chance to be as good.
I'm saying as a pure, PPG, assist, like points per game, assist type of thing.
Oh, you think Tyler Hero can get to 24, 25 a game?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I don't know if he has the capability. It was like, I'm putting up 60, which Devin Booker obviously had. Like, certain people.
Devin Booker is more athletic, too. He's more athletic.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that little bit of black in him helps. They're about the same complexion, but, that little bit helps, I've seen it with his craftiness. I think with Tyler Hero, he's super crafty. He's almost like a I don't want to even say it's crazy to say like Devin Booker and Luka. Like not so much on Luka, but I feel like he has very good vision, and I think the team would be better in the future, like with him handling the ball.
You're saying he can naturally become the point guard.
That's what I think is probably best for them. Like, Dragic is getting old.
He'll play point guard over shooting guard.
Yeah,
that's more of a I agree with you. Devin Booker's more of a scorer. I get it. I get you.
That's what I'm saying. Devin Booker's more of a scorer. Like, I'm coming off the break. Like he's a lot like Clay, just not as good as on defense. Where I think Hero, like he makes some incredible. Like he made a couple of crazy alley-oop passes and different passes where I just wasn't expecting him to see it. He has a really good vision, and I think he's gonna get better. He's really a bucket, but I think he has a little more playmaker in him than people might. I think they get him a lot of credit, but I think even beyond that, I think he's going to be more than I mean, I can't say he's going to be more than Devin Booker, but he's definitely going to be more than they thought he was going to be, which is like a JJ Redick. When he came in, he was like, he's just going to, come off
that's a good point. He's more talented, definitely handling the ball and finishing than JJ Redick. It's not close.
Yeah, and that's what his trajectory was, coming out into the draft. It was a lot about he's a spot up shooter. He's gonna come off of picks. Like I got a real like Richard Hamilton vibe as they were talking about him. But I think he'll be better than even him. And if he's better than Richard Hamilton, that's a good career. So I'm excited for them. And that's gotten me. Yeah, I want to segue to this. We didn't have this as a topic at all, but I've been hearing a little murmurs in the Twitter world, in the Twitterverse, and social media that
Giannis is coming to Washington D.C.
No, dummy. Oh. That I'm not that crazy. I heard that Giannis was thinking about going to the Heat.
It's really interesting. You gotta look at it. If you gotta look at Giannis's career, like I don't know. Obviously, we're just talking about sports, right? We don't know the details. I don't think Milwaukee can get a second player, another player that's maybe a top 20 caliber player, right? Mm-hmm. Like can they get Chris Paul somehow? Can they get, I don't know who else, Can they get a Jimmy Butler type player? Like, I don't know if they can, right? I really don't know if they can.
They can't.
And you can't. So that means you're looking at someone in the draft or someone they pick that becomes good, or someone in the current lineup that becomes good, which I don't think they have. Yeah, they don't have anybody in their lineup who I can say is like, oh, might be an all-star caliber player besides Middleton. And these guys are getting a little older too. Man, if I'm Giannis, I'm like, am I going to spend the next year again, throw up huge numbers, get to the playoffs, and lose again? Because next year, Miami's going to be better. New Jersey's going to be better. Boston's going to be better. Toronto might be as solid. So, like, I don't think, unless Giannis becomes even better, like he's much better than he was this year. Like, mm-hmm. I know he wants to stay in Milwaukee, but like, he's 26. He has to make a decision like, do I want to win championships in the next 5 years? And what's the best way for me to win a championship? If he wants to stay in Milwaukee and get a Hall of Fame career and, see what happens, I get it. But you're right. So sorry to hijack your statement there, but he has to think about going to Miami somehow. I don't know how. Think about going to Dallas. I mean, if he goes to Dallas, my goodness.
Those are the top three. There's a question I want to ask you.
If he goes to Dallas,
is that your top?
If he goes to Dallas, like I don't think they can beat the Lakers next year, but like they're going to be situated to win championships in the next 7 to 8 years.
Yeah, that's if the main thing that's up in the air, which I hate, is KP stay injured. Stay healthy.
No, you trade KP. if for some reason they're like, we want KP, he's gone.
Okay, I got you.
No. I'm not even gonna say we need to keep. No, you
So
want KP?
just Luka and Giannis.
Yes, and give me some young players. I already like some of their young players. I like their bench. Give me Giannis and get like another shooter. Like I don't like Hardaway. Give me another shooter that can make some jump shots. And hopefully these young players get a little bit better. Luka gets a little bit better. That's it. It's a wrap.
I mean, for a long time, yeah, with just those two, it would be kind of devastating. But I mean,
but the only thing is, Giannis needs to change his game, or it's probably going to be more him than Luka, because Luka's the second best passer in the league. Giannis will need to figure out a way to play better off the pick and roll. He's going to get absolutely wide open 3-point shots. He's going to get like 10 3-point shots.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to
wide open threes. Yeah.
With Luka on the ball.
Yeah, he's gonna need to find a way to be able to finish and play off the ball with Luka, and I think they'll figure it out. Right? They have good coaching; they can figure that part out, because he's not going to be dribbling the ball off the court with Luka Doncic on your team. Yeah.
Now, I mean, I like it because I also like Rick Carlisle as a coach. I think the Heat would be more devastating. Like they were number 1 or 2 or something in 3 points.
So you're giving up. Bam, right? I guess they'll have to trade Bam, right?
No, I'm just saying. You're saying if that's happening in the off season.
But how are they gonna? They can't play with Bam and Giannis, right?
Of course they can. Of course they can.
Just
think about Bam, Giannis, and Jimmy Butler. Nobody will ever be able to score points ever.
I understand that's good defense, but when it's playoff time, I don't think you can play Giannis and Bam.
But I'm saying it's the budding star of Hero and Duncan Robinson, and then they have Butler can hit threes, Robinson can hit threes, Hero can hit threes, and then
Giannis
Butler, and Bam. Giannis can possibly hit threes, and Bam can hit.
I don't know. I think in the playoffs, though, if you have Giannis and Butler, they're gonna completely shade off Butler. I mean, not Butler, Bam. They're gonna completely give Bam wide open jump shots, wide open threes, and they're gonna force him to shoot.
They can't. They have to leave both open. They would have to. All right. So if they leave him,
they'll leave just Bam open. Why do they have to leave both open?
No. They all right. Well, Bam's not gonna just stand out at the 3-point line. Okay. Like, all right. I mean, maybe we're giving too little. I think we're giving too little credit for Spoelstra. I think he would get it done. But either way, both of those fail in comparison to the one that's getting the most traction, which I think is the most devastating, which is if Giannis goes to the Golden State Warriors. And that is the one that people are talking about the most. If he goes to the Warriors with Clay and Steph, I mean, you can't double team nobody. What do you do when with those shooters around you and Giannis with the threat of going down the middle? If he ever penetrates, the kick out game is beautiful.
I hear what you're saying, but okay, we'll come back to that. But I got you. You're saying Giannis might go to. You're saying this offseason they'll make a trade?
No, most of these things is like Giannis is so big, just like Kevin Durant or LeBron James. We're talking about a year in advance.
So you're saying the next offseason.
Where he has a chance. This is why, like, when you're talking about the trades, and other stuff, I'm thinking he's going to opt out, and he's going to opt out either way, and then he's going to be able to choose whatever the hell he wants, just like Durant did, and just go to the fucking Warriors. I think he's gonna play out one more year with the Bucks, see what they can do, and then if they can't get at least to the finals this year. Like they should have got this year. They should have got in 2020. They should have got to the finals. They were the best team in the league. Now, if they don't do it next year, I don't see why he would. Like you said, he wants to stay in Milwaukee, and I think he's willing to give him another shot. But if Middleton can't uplift himself and everybody else can't bring themselves to a higher level and himself, then he's gonna leave because I don't know how much more. Like he's scary good. Like how much better can he get? If he gets to a point where LeBron James just learned how to shoot threes, in my opinion, in the last.
I get you. Yeah, LeBron. This is the best. This playoffs is the best 3-point shooting I've seen from LeBron, and you can see that he's improved. Like he's not a bad 3-point shooter anymore, and I feel like all the work he's put in, it's really paid off later in his career, because now, I can confidently say that LeBron's a solid 3-point shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, certain players have been able to achieve that, and that's shows greatness. People forget because they think about it in the early part of his career, but Jason Kidd ended up on the top 5 in 3-point made in all time, something crazy like that.
Yeah, LeBron's gonna get there too, probably. Yeah, he's gonna get to all the records.
And Jason Kidd started out like Rajon Rondo, he started out not being able to shoot at all, and
talking about not being able to shoot threes, even Rondo.
Yes, and those are the people I want to give the most credit to. That I've always loved Rajon Rondo. He was one of my favorite players. He was my favorite point guard for years, especially when he was with the Celtics.
Rondo, when he's wide open now, he's pretty solid.
Yeah, he needs that full setup. That's the thing. But he shoots so little now, in his whole career, that people literally leave him open, and it cost them in a few games. Rondo, he came up big, playoff Rondo. He played well. He was definitely, I think he was one of the biggest factors.
Man, look at that, man. We're talking about basketball, man. You gotta talk about the Braves, right?
I mean, I don't care
I'm sorry, not the Braves, the Buccaneers. You said fuck the Cowboys. What do you want to hit on?
Oh yeah. Well, I figured we take the advantage of talking about basketball because this is the time Alpha would have muted us anyway and wouldn't have spoke anything. So I figured we'd get that out of the way. It's kind of like vamping for a whole half an hour. But I think I'm resolved to the fact that he's just not showing up. So, but yeah, let's move on to. There's a lot of stuff going on in football, and my God, I know basketball's done. I'm just so glad that football is already rearing in the right direction.
Football's. I'm glad sports in general,
sure.
If you look at the worst case scenarios, people were like, what if in the NBA, what if a whole team gets the coronavirus? What happens? It's really interesting to see society wise, all these sports really pushing ahead,
society needed it, man.
Yeah, society needed it, and it's interesting how people get it. Look at Cam, he had coronavirus and he came back and played. Knock on wood, no one has been seriously hampered by the coronavirus, sports wise.
Yeah. Who has not at all been hampered by this is the fine fans of Philadelphia that got right back in the swing of things into their natural order. With very limited fans, they were still able to find and locate a Ravens fan and beat his ass in the stadium. Did you see that?
Say again?
You didn't hear about that story?
No. What was it?
So, at the Ravens-Eagles game, which I bet Alpha. I was like, if the Eagles actually beat the Ravens, I'll buy him some weed or something. But it was close. It was really close, actually.
So a fan got beat up?
Yeah, dude, a Ravens fan went there rocking all his Baltimore gear and was talking shit, and he got jumped by a dozen Eagles fans.
Was that on video?
Yeah, you can go watch the video.
Wow. And is it after the game or during the game? During
the game.
When they were blowing out Philly. Come on, dude. You can't. How are you going to egg Philly fans on and they're blowing out? The first half of the game, it was like a blowout.
Yeah, and they came back, but he was definitely talking shit when they were winning.
Oh Lord.
Handily, like a dummy.
He's lucky he didn't get like severely beaten, or did he? Maybe he did get severely beaten.
Luckily he's alive. That's what you meant to say. But he definitely got severely beaten. Everybody seemed like they got their licks in. And the security.
Oh no.
I know if I was security amidst all this shit, I wouldn't be helping.
I'm like, get to me fast. How many fans were at the game that he got beat by 12? He got beat by the rest of the fans on the stadium.
Yeah, in the section. The whole section came. There was like 15 people in the whole section of that part of the stadium, and they all came down to whoop his ass. That was absolutely great, and I was like, yes, we're back. This is America. This is America. If we're not fighting at football games, what's going on?
Were they wearing masks?
Philly? No. That was gonna get in the way of them drinking Yingling. That was gonna stop them from shoveling beer into their mouths. Like, how else do you think? There was a couple of them actually in there. I mean, personally, I would have put my mask on just to make sure I didn't get a charge from beating his ass. That's a good scapegoat. He's like, you don't know who I was. I was just a random fan in a Deshaun Jackson jersey or whatever the hell I would have been in if I was an Eagles fan. But yeah, that was funny. Somebody got jumped in the NFL, and I was like, yeah, we're back, baby. That and Rick Moranis got punched in the face in New York.
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, so who do you got? I mean, next week you got Giants visiting Philly. Philly's favored by 4 points. I feel like I'm going to put some.
Getting into the NFC East here?
No, well, speaking of NFC East, I think this is a record for the most through week 5, the most number of wins. I think
the least number of wins.
Yeah, least number of wins. I think the only win that you guys have are who did the Redskins beat week 1?
The Eagles.
Okay, so the only win the NFC East has is the Falcons. When the Cowboys beat the Falcons, that's the only outside win that the division has. It is arguably the worst division ever in the history of football.
It is. You know what goes up must come down. For most of the history of all the NFL, the NFC East has been dominant and has been the best.
Yes,
and every team
has a Super Bowl, right?
We have the most Super Bowls by any division. So it's only right that the most winningest division might also have the worst division at one point in time. It's a balance of life. It just sucks that we're going through it now, but it makes sense that it's 2020 to me. And everything's been kind of shitty for the last few years, and this year's really horrible for the entire division. But that gives everybody hope. This might be the first time somebody with double-digit losses makes it to the playoffs.
Ooh, 6-10? Oh my God! That's in play, right? Because every team has only one win, right?
Yeah, we're everybody's one. No. The Cowboys have 2. Everybody's 1-5. The
Cowboys 1-5. So that means they have 10 more games left. So can the Cowboys win 4 out of 6?
Can they win 4? Yeah, that's hard. Like for any one of our teams, for any one of the teams in the division, for them to win 5 out of their next 10 games is a tough thing to do. And whichever one does it will win.
7-9. Has 7-9 ever won a division? I don't think so, right? They have?
Yeah, 7-9's one. Alpha was talking about it in one of the podcasts that just a few years ago, the Panthers made it. They were like they were 7-8-1. And everybody else was 7-9. So that tie was like the thing that got them into the playoffs. But it wasn't the worst team that's ever made it in. So I think 7-9 is the worst. I've never heard of 6-10 though. I really am. I'm not, yeah. But I honestly think that's what is bound to happen.
6-10 is definitely a record. Has to be a record.
I think that's bound to happen though. I mean, I can't say that any one of these 4 teams is gonna go over 500 definitively for the next 10 games. Can you say that? Like, would you take
No, I
that
can't.
bet?
I
Like,
can't.
if anybody came to you individually with the Cowboys, the Redskins, the Eagles, or the Giants, you're like, all right, they're gonna win 50% of the next 10 games, and that's whoever does that out of these 4 teams, whoever goes 500 will go to the playoffs, and they'll be 6-10. and
Yeah.
that is monumental. You know, that's actually monumental. All right,
Well,
here it
well,
says.
talk about you wanted to talk about the Buccaneers, right? Like you're so. Hey, number one, I watched a little bit of that game because I put a little coin on the Green Bay -2. I was like, you know, it's like Green Bay can do it. So they were up 10-0, and and Rodgers did that sorry ass celebration, that weak ass celebration. He didn't even go 100% all out, right? And from that point on, they got absolutely demolished, and demolished. And I'm gonna probably say that's the most humbling of a quarterback I've seen in a while.
For who? For Rodgers?
For Rodgers. Yeah. You see that celebration he did?
Oh yeah, he did the Kringleberry, the
Yep.
The
and they got destroyed 38. They lost 38-0 after that.
Yeah, they got their asses whooped right after that. The reason I wanted to talk about them is, you know, Tom Brady played well. Gronk got a score. He got the spike. That was fun, you know, to see that them hooking up. And he's playing well. But the Tampa Bay defense is
looking good, huh?
It's surprising. Rodgers was off on a few of those plays, but he was hurried and he was getting hit. And those guys are, I think, severely underrated. I think, you know, the fact that Jameis Winston, there's 16 games played, and Jameis Winston threw 30 interceptions. So like, it just seems like maybe the defense was a little bit tired last year.
That's actually a good point. The you know, you can say that defense is bad when your quarterback is giving up probably 35 turnovers. You know, you're not going to look good. So a solid defense might look like a bad defense, and Tampa Bay is looking like they have a solid defense. Good, maybe even a good defense.
And that's kind of how I feel. You know, I feel a lot of that about a lot of teams. I feel that about, you know, the football team. Yeah, to be honest. I feel that our defense is pretty decent. Our cornerbacks aren't great, and our linebackers aren't awesome, but our defense is pretty good. But the offense is like inept, and you know, there's no fear on the other side of the ball that we're gonna move it and score any points. And that really never happens. And they're doing what they can, but it's not like we're winning time of possession. We don't have a good running game. We don't have a great passing game. So I think once we actually can fix one of those things, then, you know, we'll have a decent team. But by no stretch of the imagination do I think that the Redskins are going to win the division or actually make it to the playoffs, because they have to win the division to do that. But I don't think they have any real chance to do it. My money is, you know what? My money is probably on the Eagles. Either the Giants.
Well, the Eagles they'll have to beat the Giants this upcoming week. Can they have a good start finally? I mean, it seems like they're in all these games, but they get blown out in the first half and then they come back.
Yeah, and that's all on the heels of Carson Wentz. I know some people kind of hate on him and, you know, talk shit, but like, he literally, they're played like the Redskins were a couple years ago. They have so many injuries that it's kind of like a sad state of affairs to think about. You know, they had lost Dallas Goedert, which was their backup tight end, in like week 2. And Zach Ertz just got injured, and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Deshaun Jackson's still out. Alshon Jeffrey's still out. And you saw the difference the Falcons made when Julio Jones came back into the lineup. He's been out the last couple of weeks, and they fired Dan Quinn and like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's terrible. He sucks. I don't really like him either, but he didn't put up any numbers. Second Julio Jones coming back, he put up 300-something yards, had multiple touchdowns, and they won pretty handily.
Is that what happened in Tampa? I didn't know. So Julio Jones came back and the Falcons won. Was that all it was?
Yeah. So the Falcons played the Vikings, and the Vikings kind of sucked, but Matt Ryan had like 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, but Julio Jones has been out the last 2 weeks, and oh man, the Falcons suck. They they couldn't do it. I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, their best receiver was gone, and him, and that's probably the most powerful wide receiver quarterback connection in all of the league. They've been together the longest and had the most touchdowns for sure. So yeah, he came back and the offense looked a lot different. I mean, it could look different because Dan Quinn's gone. Just the same thing as the Houston Texans. I think they look better as a team. The second Bill O'Brien was gone. And there's a whole lot of questionable calls going on in sports this week. Ron Rivera going for 2 to win the game instead of kicking the field goal to tie it, which is silly if you're actually trying to go to the playoffs, which makes me think that Ron Rivera.
Well, I didn't watch the end of the game, but I don't mind going for 2. They were playing in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like offense had momentum, right? Obviously, in your perspective, they had momentum. 1 play to win the game. What was the play they ran? I didn't see.
It was bad. It was like a 3 receiver type of. It was like a drag and a post and whatever. But the right play was Kyle Allen should have ran it in, but for some reason he hesitated. Like the play came out, just like anything.
So he was saying he could have stepped back, looked, and just ran in. He had some lanes to run in.
Oh yeah, he rolled out, and if he rolled out, and if he just ran towards the end zone,
he rolled out. He rolled out. He rolled out
back instead of towards the end zone.
Oh, you're saying he could have ran in?
Yeah. Like yeah. If you watch that last play, he could for sure ran it in, or it would have been like the greatest defensive play to stop him. Like
Kyle Allen's athletic. He's pretty athletic.
Yeah, it's pretty athletic. I think I feel confident if he, instead of trying to throw the pass, ran it in. That was disconcerting. It was a bad play call. I would have preferred, honestly, to just run it. I just run it. And if you're trying to prove that my team's better than your team and we're just going to go for this and take it, just like the Seahawks should have done against the Patriots. It's like, just fucking run the ball. Just run the ball down the throat. Like, if you think it's like, you know what, our team is tougher. Yeah, we got to get these 2 yards and get in the end zone. That's what I would have done. I would have just ran it. I might have gone wide, but I would have ran the ball right, probably up the middle, let the dude do it. But I probably, you know what? I know exactly what I would have done. I would have ran the motherfucking RPO with Kyle Allen.
You need a pass. You need a PRO. You need a pro. Why is it always a run pass? You need the PRO, pass run offense.
You can do that too. Like there should have been. Actually, the same bad play happened in. The play I would have picked happened in the Eagles game. In the Eagles game, after they came all the way back and made it 28-30 or whatever it was, they had a 2-point conversion try to tie up the ball game, and Carson Wentz they had the RPO, and he went to hand off the ball, right? And he tried to pull it back, and the fullback like thought he was giving it off and kept the ball. So essentially they tackled each other because like Carson Wentz's hands on the ball and the running backs trying to run with it, but you know how they do the tuck.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to keep. So like the running back thought he was taking it, so he tried to run and kept the ball, and then they both fell over. And I was like, that's so stupid.
That's how they didn't get that conversion. Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
The Giants. Oh
No. That was the Eagles. The Eagles.
Sorry. Yeah, I saw that too. I saw the 2-point conversion, and oh man, so crazy how in a week. Crazy how in a week Tampa Bay now went from like they're now one of the better NFC teams, right? I mean, you've got to think about it. Like, I don't know who's better than them.
For sure. They've just beat the other people, the guys that were the best to me. And the only other team I would put over them, power ranking wise, is the Seahawks. But they have a very questionable defense. Yes,
yeah, exactly. They have a questionable defense. Tom Brady can eat that defense alive, right? That's what Tom Brady does. Yeah, man. So that's, NFL wise, we'll see what happens next week.
The last person I need a shout out in the NFL. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things going on this week. The Titans, man. Ryan Tannehill is, numbers wise, he's top 5 right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Titans play, but he's putting up the MVP season, right?
He's having a really good season. And Derrick Henry, like I thought, I've never been so I don't want to say happy, but like it's somebody I called and I really wanted, every once in a while I try to call like, I like this person, like they're going to be really good. And it was weirded out that Derrick Henry went in the second round. I was like, he is easily like one of the best players in college. Like, I don't know how you don't.
How did he go in the second round? Yeah, right. He was a monster in college at Alabama.
Thinking, I'm like, am I crazy? And then
he became obviously much better. He like kind of grew into his.
No, he was that
role.
huge before. It's just when
grew in as a player, nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He was as hard as a heck. I was like, how do college players tackle him? I was like, it's like impossible.
it was ridiculous. And then he sat behind DeMarco Murray for a year. And I mean, I think we would have got him sooner.
And the thing about him is, like, if you look at him on that 94-yard run,
which he went 21.6 miles per hour.
Yeah, he has like breakaway speed at that height. Like, it's really scary.
Yeah, he's fucking huge, man. It's ridiculous.
And he kind of high steps a little bit too. It doesn't look like he's running super fast, but he's a big guy. But he's really running away from these cornerbacks and safeties.
Yeah, like think about if you were like, say you're on like the 50-yard line and Derrick Henry's running like that, and you're like, I gotta stop him. Like what do you do? Do you make business decisions, or do you try to make the legendary?
Well,
legendary play?
You hope that he doesn't run over you. I mean, you would hopefully he lowers the shoulder. Only, I mean, when you play football, you're taught to the lowest man wins, right? So you got to pray that you get lower than him, but he might still run you over, though.
For sure. If I'm Josh Norman, I'm definitely taking a business decision.
What are you gonna do? You're just gonna try to grab his shoulder? What does a business decision look like?
I'm gonna dive towards his feet area, and then he's gonna kind of high step over me.
Oh, okay. You want him to high step over you?
Yeah, and be like, oh, I just whiffed. I missed time the tackle, coach. That's all that happened. I wasn't being a bitch.
Oh, you're like, he just jerked me. You're like, oh, he just jerked me. What can I do?
I would give him I would rather get juked than bulldoze over. I'm like, damn, man, that's
or stiff armed, like Josh Norman. Yeah, that might have been the worst. That might have been the worst stiff arm ever. Is that in the running for the worst stiff arm ever?
It has to be
like Josh Norman's career. Like when they look back at career plays, he's made hundreds. I think he's made over $100 million. I would think.
Yeah.
At least over 50, and he's made to Pro Bowls. But when you look back at his career, he's gonna be seen being tossed away like a little rag doll.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most famous play he was involved in.
That's true. You're right. I don't know what other famous plays he's had.
Yeah, I don't know what other interceptions or tackles he's ever made. That play is Josh Norman from now on. And so I hope he's happy with his $100 million because he's now a meme.
Well, we'll leave with this. The Dodgers are winning. The Dodgers have a good chance now to win the World Series. If the Rams can get there, they can do the trifecta, which has never probably been done ever in the history of sports. So, you should. Long story short, you should move back to LA.
Why now? This is the dumbest time to move. I've been thinking about it before, but now is the worst time.
Come back to the comedy circuit.
No, that's all. This is exactly why I wouldn't come. They all left. You don't know that? Okay, you wouldn't know that. Like I.
What do you mean they all left? What does that mean?
You wouldn't know that. Like I don't know that. Well, all right. Do you at least know Joe Rogan left?
Yeah, they left. But I'm saying the comedy circuit in LA is still. After COVID, let's say next year, second quarter of next year, there's a bunch of comedy clubs in LA, right? In general.
I mean, there are. There probably would be a lot more, room for me to go on, do open mics and other stuff like that. But the draw, the big names, the people that would just be around in that area, drawing comedy to it, a third of them have all left, and it's not so much COVID, it's COVID and. Apparently, like, there's a bunch of new tax shit popping up going on in California. I don't know how much you know about that, but apparently taxes are going up by a considerable margin, considerable enough that everybody is leaving the states that don't have income taxes, like Nashville and Texas and Miami and shit like that. Like, everybody's moving away from New York and California for taxes, and those are the hubs for comedians, and most of the comedians are leaving because why stay there in the places where they can't do the comedy when most of their shit is traveling, they're on planes anyway. You might as well live in Texas or in the middle of the country, so it's easier for you to make it to gigs.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Eventually when you come out here, maybe we can do some clubs together, because that is one of my bucket lists, is to eventually do at least one show.
You want to see if you're funny? You want to see if you can get some chuckles, huh?
I just want to get it off. I can get booed just to get it off. You know what I mean?
Yes. I would say this: your best material is talk about you getting off.
Exactly.
I would say talk about
some experience. The only experience I have.
Yeah, just say this. Just call it. This is my bucket list set. I hate all of you, and I'm never going to do this again. And then they'll say start like that, and you'll probably get a chuckle.
There you go. Speaking of, hopefully, our man AD joins us next cycle.
Let's take a bet. Let's take a bet. You want to bet to see what happened?
What's that? Wait. What is your number one reason?
Jail.
Overslept, right? All right, my number one is he said jail. He's hanging out with some friends, maybe a female.
Jail's more likely. No, so
that's number two.
For that, I think they're alley-oops, so when he hears this, you can feel bad.
Alley-oop.
I think. I don't know. I think it's something silly or something.
Maybe it's a wing. Maybe it's Maybe there's a chicken wing shortage in DC and he just crying himself to sleep.
I doubt that. Like it's more plausible that, like, especially since he hasn't returned it. Like if it's not an emergency, then it's the other thing that he probably misplaced his phone.
That's a good point too. Yeah. Or something, yeah.
He possibly misplaced his phone and is now frantically looking for it or something.
Well, forget about its sports segment. There's really nothing I can add. Well, I guess I'm adding baseball. I don't know if baseball.
Yeah, that was
considered? That was it.
Yeah, that was a sport nobody cared. Look,
so let me cut. So this is game one. The Dodgers have come back. Dodgers have won their division, the pennant, I think 9 years in a row. 9 years. They've gone to the playoffs, I think 9 years in a row, and they have not won the World Championship one time. They've had all types of heartache. And Kershaw, who is the best pitcher of his generation, he actually won an MVP, I believe. I think he might be one of the few pitchers to ever win an MVP.
He's that boy named Clayton, right?
Clayton Kershaw, exactly. And he is arguably the worst performer for a star player in playoff history across all sports, right? He just has...
Oh, so he's like James Harden.
Worse. He's worse than James Harden. And
Russell Westbrook.
Was. So I am pulling for him to get a championship ring. He's pitching game one. I just turned the TV off. The Dodgers are winning 6-1. So most likely he's going to get this win. I think the Dodgers are going to do it. And they're going to be world champions since, 1988? I don't know when they won the chip last. But
oh, shit. Fuck if I would know. I mean... like last time I remember anything about the Dodgers was that movie Angels in the Outfield. Was that it? No. Or was it? That was the Angels.
That's Anaheim. That's Anaheim Angels. That's the actual
Angels.
Come on, man! Don't get the cities mixed up. But
it's pretty telling. It was called Angels in the Outfield. But
but that's it. There you go. There's your forget about it sports segment. I'll let you know if they win the World Series next Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna speed past all this stuff. There's no picks. I guess we're not gonna go over the games.
We'll let Alpha
wrap it up. And I would usually do my fantasy picks, and as of last week, they all did good. And I'm so smart. I am so smart. And,
all right, buddy.
Yeah. All right, man. See you next week. I hope Alpha isn't in jail.
I hope he's not in jail. And thank you for listening to Sports. Forget about it, sports, my man John. Thank you for everything, and we'll connect again next Tuesday.
All right, man. Peace out.
You good? Have a good one. Peace out.